Okay. Seething and festering in the dark corners of their self-isolated confined chambers, there lurks a creature that is jarring and, dare I say, frightening. A being that is often an unhinged, depraved, and deranged result of degeneracy, and at times, violent outbursts. This creature being a definite modern-day curious case of degeneracy, I no doubt desire to know more about them and study them as much as feasibly possible. How could a creature be so seemingly innocent and harmless, yet when provoked, or at times simply slightly bothered, turn so inexplicably depraved? I'm talking about a common yet still rare to spot creature known as the Gremlin. Modern-day gremlins are a sort of subgroup of anime women and women of the 3D plane. They have the possibility of appearing nearly everywhere, yet only appear in select batches, for lack of better terms. They are a rare, but seemingly growing breed. I conducted research on these creatures in hopes to better understand what these creatures are, how they formed to begin with, and why these creatures are prevalent. Because as it so happens, various people, including likely you if you decide to click on this video, adore gremlins. I should know, I myself am guilty of being a fan of the modern-day gremlin. So, what in essence is a gremlin? A gremlin of the modern generation, as my research and documented notes would have me believe, is a typically short in stature, usually not standing more than 5 foot woman, that on the surface level appears relatively normal. Well, perhaps normal is not the right word. Average is likely a more fitting word. The physical characteristics through various analytical procedures demonstrated that they are by all means a typical everyday average woman, but don't be fooled. You see, I began to understand, I began to become enlightened as time went on through large dedicated amounts of research. I've come to realize that something can make this facade dissipate very easily. This false veil of normalcy can be lifted with even the slightest provocation. The provocation can range from something going entirely wrong, like the woman in question being assaulted by teammates in a video game and accidentally deleting all the save files in a fit of rage, to a simple mishap, like them falling off a chair because their short stature prevents their feet from touching the floor and providing reinforced support. All these things could undoubtedly set them off and cause them to abandon their loosely tied dignity, shame, and values, and cause them to degenerate into a nonsensical, loony state. It by all means seems to be an emotional response of extreme proportions, though some might argue this is all in their head. It's purely mental. However, that is much too easy of an answer. I reason surely there has to be more to it than simply these women have very short tempers and when provoked have hissy fits and outbursts to a goofy level. After all, it's when we begin to see the women worse that we begin to acknowledge that there's more to them than that. At least I thought so. How so? Well, you see, the behavior of gremlins changes drastically through these fits of anger. They start to grow more unruly, aggressive, their breathing heightens, their heart rate increases to concerning levels, even reaching up to 180 in a single instance. Their speech patterns begin to break up, and their tone sounds raspy and screechy and full of contempt. It's worth noting that in the beginning, when annoying or disturbing gremlins, this sound will pop up randomly, hinting at what they really are, a gremlin. However, it doesn't end there. Their posture becomes feral, their unkept properties begin to be seen, and then before you know it, you have a full-fledged, frothing at the mouth, short, riled-up gremlin, spouting gibberish and growls. Truly quite a frightening creature. I know.
Oh my god, so shocked.
But despite this uncivilized behavior, they seem to genuinely just be hissy-fit, pompous, quirkily short-tempered women. Another breakthrough I reached is identified gremlins to be surprisingly pretty harmless. Gremlins have, or appear to have, very little power. Their loony antics are all growl and no bite for the most part, and underneath their trivial pout-filled outbursts, they're quite nice. Thus leading us to the ultimate question of, why do you like gremlins? Well, the adoration of these kind of women stems from the idea of it being one big over-the-top mess with a very sweet, endearing effort being put behind it. The messy side of things might possibly induce some stress and some concern, but the knowledge that they are not going to actually steal your wife or do something horrific to you while you sleep makes you regard them as cute rather than a threat. And once the brain has had an opportunity after numerous instances to assess and determine that they are just a silly little overreactive goose, the stress is replaced with care and desire to make sure they don't do something unwise, which gremlins are prone to do. This is the brain having the very primitive instinct of defending the small, weak, and helpless. So in theory, why do we love gremlins oh so much? Well, because they are so undeniably frantic, clueless, and unhinged. Despite the fact that at their core they are quite charming, they just seem like they need a little helping hand, a cautionary, supervisational, watchful eye. Like a responsible human looking after a puppy doggo. And with that, if you guys enjoy this video, theoretically if you have watched this far then you do enjoy my videos, feel free to like, subscribe, share this with your neighbor, high school teacher, and your wife, and share me with anybody that you wish to spread my undoubtable, diligent knowledge to. And remember, always do everything purely and solely and only for the purpose of science and the pursuit of knowledge.